Hello, everyone. Finally getting to my best of 2021. Sorry that it's been a couple weeks. I said this was going to be done before the new year, but some things got in the way, and I'm just getting around to it today. First off, wanted to thank everyone who subscribed in 2021. We raised 800 and I think it was 34 or $24 for Backline, which is a mental health nonprofit that provides resources to folks in the music industry. I know I've shared that many times, but it's very dear to me. This is another organization, the Hi How Are You Project, which was started after Daniel Johnston passed, another mental health organization that is very dear to me. So check them out. I believe it's hihowareyou.org. And with that, I'm going to go through my best of 2021. I would say it's really one record, which you'll see, which is my number one of the year. And then everything else. One was far and away my favorite of the year. There were a few that have yet to arrive in the mail, so they were around at the 9 or 10 mark anyway, so they did not make it. Courtney Barnett would have made the top 10, but that record is taking forever to get here. So let's just say she's in the top 10 and these are 11, or these are the other 10. So you're going to see a lot of these are still wrapped. So I've been listening to a lot just digitally, and I plan, now that I've taken these off the shelves, to unwrap these and listen to them in the coming weeks. So to start, number 10, is this the best way to do this? Let's try this way. There we go, that's better. The Cassandra Jenkins record, An Overview of Phenomenal Nature. I listened to this morning. I love this record. I like it more every single time I listen to it. I was introduced to her this year. I don't think this is her first record, but I just love this record. So that's at number 10. Number 9, one of the most underrated bands I think ever, the Flatlanders, a tremendous supergroup comprised of, who do we have here? Jimmy Dale Gilmore, Joe Ely, and Butch Hancock. That's who that is, right? Their record, they only put out 1 or 2 records, I think, in the 70s. But the one record my brother and I used to listen to all the time, it was one of our introductions into country music, More Legend Than a Band, which is on my Discogs want list, but it's really hard to find and it's pricey. But I've listened to this a bunch this year. So these guys got to be in their 70s. I saw them once at the Bottom Line, maybe sometime in the early 2000s, and they were tremendous. The Bottom Line in New York City. Number 8, I can thank my friend Sharish for pushing this record on me. James McMurtry, somebody who's been around a long time and I don't really know his music all that well. This is called The Horses and the Hounds. A great opener called Canola Fields, which talks a lot about where I live. So a lot of mention of Santa Cruz, Los Gatos, San Jose. Oh, almost knocked myself out. So James McMurtry comes in at number 8. Canola Fields is such a great song, one of my favorites of the year. Blackberry Winter I listened to this morning when I went on a quick drive to run some errands. Great record. That's in at number 8. Number 7, surprise to any of my friends. I've never been a big fan of the War on Drugs, and a lot of my friends who love the War on Drugs aren't crazy about this record, but I took to it. Living Proof is a beautiful, but it can be hard for me to listen to. It reminds me a lot of, if you know the song, you know what I'm getting at. My brother lived in Chicago, so, but I really like this record. I think it might be my favorite record by theirs, which maybe that's absurd, but I am really enjoying it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The Japanese Breakfast record, Jubilee. I also read her memoir. Be Sweet, one of the best songs of the year. Just a great year for Michelle Zauner. I believe that's how you pronounce it. She put out a best-selling memoir, and this is ranked on most best of lists right near the top. So tremendous year for Japanese Breakfast / Michelle Zauner. Number 5, I'm surprised I didn't see this on a lot of year-end lists. This is a really good record. Valerie June, The Moon and the Stars, Prescription for Dreamers. It's in a TV ad now, which sort of, I'm Gen X. We don't like that stuff. But what a talent, what a unique talent. Just, I love this record. You and I, just a beautiful song. Top 4. This one has shot up the charts in the last few days after listening to it a lot. And this is, I believe it's pronounced Aeon Station. It's called Observatory. So this is the follow-up to the Wren's 2003 album, that's Massachusetts, that's not them. The Meadowlands, Massachusetts, is Scud Mountain Boys. This story is old. We've been hearing about it for every year. We thought we were going to get a new Scud Mountain Boys record. We still haven't. And one member just stepped aside and put this out. And the song that I heard, is it Hold On? This is a really good record. And I have a feeling that as time passes, we'll move way up my list. Number 3, got a lot of praise. A lot of people talking about it. It made Barack Obama's best of list. I got this a little while back. Mdou Moctar. I'm not going to pronounce Afrique Victime. I don't know why I'm making it French. Or maybe I don't know. This is a funny story as to how I learned about this artist. This is on, it looks like it's on Matador, but I believe he was on a label called Sahel Sounds. I have a t-shirt for Sahel Sounds. It's a label that I believe is mostly focused on West African music, Saharan music, is that how you say it? I almost went on a date with somebody about a year ago via one of the dating apps. And she was an enormous fan of this type of music. She had spent time in this part of the world volunteering, and she turned me on to a ton of artists on that label, Sahel Sounds, which I highly recommend you check out. It's beautiful music. I went out and bought a ton of records, vinyl from the label. We were talking for weeks, maybe months. It was mostly just about music. And then I said, why don't we finally get together? And she said, no. And that was it. Like the next day I checked the app and she was gone. So I'm still very grateful to her for turning me on to this music. I saw that this artist has just announced a tour of the East Coast in the United States. So if you are on that side of the country, go see him. What a guitar player. And just beautiful, unique, stunning music. Number 2 is the Faye Webster record. I Know I'm Funny, Ha Ha. I got turned on to this maybe about a month ago, and then just couldn't stop listening to the record. Better Distractions, In a Good Way. Just great songs on here. She opened for Wilco when I saw Wilco in San Jose, and I did not go. I mean, I went to Wilco, but I did not know her music at the time, and I really regret that. There are maybe a KEXP performance. It's just an incredible performance. I'll put the link in the description of her that just floors me. I've watched it so many times. So Faye Webster at number 2. And now, easily my favorite of 2021. is the Bonnie Prince Billy and Matt Sweeney record Superwolves, their first record since 2004, I believe, so 17 years. I listen to this record all the time. What a pairing these two are. And there's a good podcast with, who is it with? It's escaping me. I'll put the podcast in the link as well, where an interview with Sweeney and Will Oldham. Make Worry for Me, Good to My Girls, Bonnie Prince Billy, a song for his daughters, I believe his daughters, Hall of Death. And Mdou Moctar, plays on this record. So just a very cool pairing. I saw these guys recently, right before we went into our latest sort of semi-lockdown in San Francisco, and it was a tremendous show. Matt Sweeney is one of the best guitar players I've ever witnessed. Excuse me. Drag City put this out. Listen to it over and over. It is a tremendous, tremendous record. That's it. Top 10. I did do a record that I wish more people knew about, and this is the Pernice Brothers record, The World Won't End. It was just recently reissued. Joe Pernice is one of the best songwriters of the last 30 years. His bands are the Scud Mountain Boys, the Pernice Brothers. Chappaquiddick Skyline was a side project of his. I just can't recommend these guys enough. Overcome by Happiness is my favorite record of theirs. But this was again recently reissued. I think you can still get it on Ashmont Records, which is Pernice's record label, and that is Joe Pernice and the Pernice Brothers. Check them out. Pure pop glory. That's it. 12 minutes. I wanted to do this one quickly, and I hope you check out some of the records I recommended. Please feel free to list out some of your favorites. Finally, His Golden Messenger? That would have also been in my top 10, but it's somewhere. I've got records all over the place and I couldn't find it. And of course, thank you to John at the Digital Gramophone, who surprised me with that record when I went and visited Mazzy. It was on the bed of the room that I was staying in, and it was one of the. So many people have done so many nice things for me this year. Given that, people have heard about, the loss I've had this year, and that was one of the many beautiful things that people have done to make me feel cared for during an otherwise really, really, really hard year, like many of us are having. And I will just close by saying, I talk a lot about mental health. My life is veering more and more into that world. I started a program at Northwestern University where my brother was an attorney to become a therapist. I put that on hold when he passed because it was just too raw. I had to put those topics aside and let myself go through my own grieving, which I'm still going through. The last month has been, I will be candid, the worst for me. I know I'm speaking selfishly. A lot of people are hurting out there. A lot of people who loved my brother are hurting out there. The holidays. What's the Jason Isbell line? Christmas time when I don't know, my head's not there. I didn't have the right coffee this morning. Christmas time when folks go off the deep end, I think. I'm going to write about what's happened to me in the last month on my Substack, which I'll also put a link to. But as I mentioned, I am moving more and more into that. I plan on getting back into the Northwestern program. It's part-time so that I can continue doing work in sort of entertainment and technology, which helps pay the bills. And it's also work that I really do love as well. But the memoir that I've mentioned, that I've written about my upbringing, my brother's upbringing, I am putting the final touches on, and I'm just going to release it. I've been saying that forever, but I just don't like the last few chapters. Just need to finish those, maybe pull one or two of them. It's called Midnight Tracks, and it's a memoir that will be coming out somewhere. Hopefully, it will come out in 2022. I can guarantee that. So thank you very much for supporting mental health. Last thing I'll say is I'm gonna talk more about my own mental health, something that I've been shy about and I've been reluctant to talk about for the same reasons why everyone is reluctant to talk about the stigma. I've had some experiences with poor reception when I have shared my own mental health history and things that have happened in my own life, but those days are over for me. I'm going to start being open about it, because I've already said the last thing I'll say 50 times but there's the last one I will say to close it out as a thank you, and just a note of why I do this. I wonder if all of us were completely open about our mental health, if it would have saved my brother, if he were to have felt comfortable talking about what he was going through to a wider audience, to more doctors, and to get the help he needed. You can't change the past, but maybe it'll help somebody in the future. That was long-winded, and I hope it will have meaning to some of you. So thank you very much. Again, almost $1,000 to Backline. You're all wonderful people, and I hope everyone had a good new year and that 2022 has started off well for you. Last thing, which I shared with a friend of mine who's been struggling. Somebody shared this to me, and I think about it every day. Be gentle with yourself. Say that to yourself if you're having a hard day or a hard moment or a hard minute. Be gentle with yourself. Thanks, everyone. Take care.